probably heard of restless legs, but you probably never heard of restless arms. Same thing, you feel all fidgety in your arms, you just gotta move them, you can't keep them still, or maybe you do have some joint pains, right? We're gonna go to the top of the ear, at the side. The top right here is actually corresponding to your hands, and then it's gonna correspond, come down to your wrist, then to your elbow, then to your shoulder, and then when we get right here, that's where it corresponds to your neck. So just by pinching this whole outer layer, you can actually pinch the whole, see, pinch the outer layer right here, pinch, pinch, pinch. This will cover your whole arm. Pinch both ears, outer layers for both arms. So there's a point for every part of your body that's reflected on your ears called microsystems. So you're gonna acupressure 2 specific points on your ear. The first part is this part of your ear, this top part right up here. This corresponds to your legs, okay? So both sides of your ear. The second part is restless leg is a neurological problem. So you have to address, you gotta calm down the brain, calm down the CPU. And that is this part right here. This little bump right here, it corresponds to your brain. So you wanna massage, acupressure both sides. See, I'm pinching them, right? So pinching them. Do this for about 30 seconds. 30 seconds down here for your brain to calm it down. Do this before you go to bed, and it will start calming down your CPU, which will help calm down your restless legs.
Originally, I came here for post-herpetic neuralgia brought on by shingles, and then eventually cancer pain. They were completely ruining my life, and I couldn't drive, I could barely take care of myself. Was almost a child again, basically. My quality of life has increased 100%, and I can enjoy my freedom again, and just being out and enjoying my friends and family, and just being part of the world again. Absolutely. At first I was hesitant because I didn't know if it was going to work. And after the consultation and going through the orientation and all that, I was told that it was going to be beneficial to me, and that even after the first treatment, it was absolutely apparent that it was going to work for me. I hadn't thought about it, but after the Western medicine hadn't been effective at all, there was no point in not giving it a try, and I'm so happy that I did. It's really about eating healthy and just taking care of yourself so that your body can, heal naturally faster. It just plays a huge part in that. The staff has been wonderful. I mean, the whole experience has been great. I've recommended it to family and friends already. It may not work for you, but there's no reason not to try. If you need some help and everything else isn't working, why not? I hadn't considered it before, I got desperate, so I started researching, and that's how I ended up here, and I made the right decision. Here I am now.
The word freedom means the power to act, speak, think as one wants without hindrance or restraint, okay? So it's the ability to speak, you have the power, freedom means you have the power to act, speak, think as you want without hindrance or restraint, right? There's so much restraint going on these days, not necessarily by yourself. Like people are restraining other people. People are hindering other people from enacting their own freedom, their own power, right? You can see it on Facebook, which we're currently on. Facebook and YouTube, they're banning certain freedoms of speech, right? They're only allowing certain things that can be posted on Facebook. And then you look at all the people that are arguing with each other. Just because someone disagrees with you doesn't mean you have the right to restrain their freedom. right? There's so much of that going on. So much of that is going on where someone says something that's opposing to what you believe in, what your values are, and therefore you have to make them wrong. You have to tell them to shut up. And so because you want to refrain, you want to restrain their freedom, right? But then what gives you the right to restrain someone else's freedom, right? So, there's a lot of that's going on. But this is not about politics. That's not what I'm talking about. I want to talk about something else. I want to talk about health freedom. Is something, restraining you or hindering you from being able to act, speak, think, really act, to be able to do what you want to do, what you love to do, with whom you want to do, whenever you want to do. If you lack that, if you can't answer yes, so if you can't do whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do, with whom you want to do, you have lost your health freedom. Okay, I'm talking about just an ability to do activities, to be able to go on a hike, to be able to go swimming, to be able to go bicycling, to be able to play golf, play tennis, play football, whatever. If you can't do those with your kids, with your grandkids, with your spouse, with your friends, you don't have health freedom, because freedom is the power to act without any hindrance or restraint. So what is hindering you from doing those activities that you love to do and you want to do, right? You got to solve that in order to get health freedom. Taking a pill doesn't solve that. Taking a pill temporarily helps you be able to act, but it doesn't allow you to do it without hindrance or restraint, because you're hindered by not having that pill. You're restrained by something else that's going on already in your body. So what is hindering you from achieving your health freedom? There is a solution, regardless of what, again, so much these days, the freedom of speech is being hindered and restrained by all these media, right? So regardless of what the media says, that what can or cannot be done, just look at, there's so many people these days, they're in their, people that say, oh, I'm getting old, I can't do this, I can't do that. I remember when I was in high school with my doubles partner, we were playing tennis and it was against this 100-year-old gentleman. I think his partner was 70 years old, but he was 100 years old. And this was back in high school, so I was probably about 16, I would say 17 years old. And my doubles partner was even younger. He was probably 16. We actually lost to the 100-year-old and a 70-year-old tennis players, right? Who said getting old, prevents you from having health freedom? That's a myth that people are spreading. It doesn't matter, age is just a number. So that every time that someone tells me, oh, I'm getting old, I can't do this, it reminds me of that 100-year-old tennis player that beat my partner and I. We were how many times younger than he was, but because of his skill, he had health freedom, he could still play. He probably plays more than I play right now, okay? And so it's just a myth to believe that you can't do what you want to do, right? And I'm not talking about going for quick fixes, surgeries. Yeah, it can get you to doing some of it, but having a surgery doesn't get you back to where you were before, right? But here's the thing. Sometimes we do degenerate so much, we don't take care of our bodies, we lose our health freedom, that we need surgery, we need medical intervention. But what I'm talking about is before you get to that point, there are things you can do to get before that, before you get to so severe, you need those medical interventions. So, what can you do right now? And I'm not just saying just because I do acupuncture that you have to get acupuncture in order to do it. No, there's daily stuff that you can do, daily habits that I talk about every single day, 5 days a week, for a year now, that you can do at home to actually regain your health freedom. Because all of us, I would say a majority of us were born with health freedom. We just messed it up. We got to take responsibility for it, right? And the next thing is take responsibility for your own health, but at the same time, do not restrain or hinder someone else from doing it. Just because someone else is doing something that is not scientifically proven or medically proven doesn't mean that you're right and they're wrong. So again, the purpose is, focus on yourself. Focus on getting your health freedom, your family's health freedom, and let someone else do what they want to do, right? You can share your knowledge, but don't hinder their freedom.